accomplishments, none stood higher than the Lisbon Lions. Thank you for coming today. So much has been said about Jock Stein that I'm going to keep what I say tight and brief, because there's very little I can add to the accolades. But I just want us all to remember that Jock Stein did not arrive with a silver spoon in his mouth. He was brought up in the 20s and 30s in the poverty and deprivation of the Lanarkshire coalfields in Burnbank. He didn't arrive here as some great superstar. He came via Albion Rovers in Llanelli, and he came here to give a lead to the reserve team. And he didn't come here finally as some internationally glamorous manager. He came after a short spell but successful at Hibs and Dunfermline. And yet in all of those areas, he became the preeminent football emblem, not only of Britain and Europe, but of the world. Because this man who came from the Lanarkshire coalfields became the most articulate exponent of footballing philosophy of his time. This fella who came here to train the reserves went on to become the captain of a Celtic team that defeated everyone else in Britain in 1953 in the Coronation Cup, took the league in the cup the following year, and when he returned as manager, not only excelled in Scotland and Britain, but throughout Europe and the world by winning the European Championship. That was the measure of Jock Stein, and that is why we remember him today. Because when Bill Shankly said in those famous small number of words after the 1967 Cup final, "John, you're immortal," he didn't do so just because of the record achievements of Stein, huge though they were. He didn't do so just because of the memories that he'd given us. When he talked about immortality in football, he talked about Stein's philosophy of football. And that is where I want to finish today, because Jock Stein is not only a memory, he's not only a legend, he is a contemporary inspiration for this club and for all football clubs. Just after he won the European Cup, Jock Stein was congratulated by a commentator. And he said, the commentator said to him, "You must be very proud at this moment." Stein said, "There is not a prouder man on God's earth than me at this moment." Winning was important, aye, but it was the way we have won that filled me with satisfaction. We did it by playing football, pure, beautiful, inventive football. There was not a negative thought in our heads. Interplayed right into our hands. It's so sad to see such gifted players shackled by a system that restricts their freedom to think and act. Our fans would never accept that sort of sterile approach. Our objective is always to try to win with style. Jock, you were right then, you're right today, and you'll be right forever in that philosophy at Celtic Football Club. God bless you. We remember you with great satisfaction, great pride. Now I'm going to ask Tony Hamilton to take us through the rest of this formal ceremony to remember Jock Stein. Tony.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, John. We will hear very shortly this afternoon from Fergus McCann and from Billy McNeil, but please put your hands together to say a few words on behalf of the Stein family, his grandson, John Gatland.
First I'd like to say thanks to John Reid for the kind words. On behalf of the family, I would like to thank the club for commissioning the statue. Also special mention to Ian Jameson for all his help throughout the process. Special mention to John McKenna, a sculptor, who we believe has put together an excellent representation of the statue, especially given we only had old photographs from the 60s and some video stills to work with. And finally, I hope that all football fans at Celtic Park enjoy viewing the statue, and hope that it serves as a reminder of the great achievements that our grandfather brought not just to Celtic, not just to Scotland, but to British football. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed to Jock's grandson, John Gatland. Happy to have a quick word with the first ever captain to lift the European Cup. We'll ask Billy McNeil. Billy, we've got brother Walfred here and we've got Jimmy Johnson. I suppose it's only right that we've got Jock Stein here also.
Oh, undoubtedly. You know, the two names you mentioned were absolutely brilliant. Didn't see the first one, but certainly saw Jimmy. But Jock, I think, as far as I'm concerned, is really instrumental in for what this club is and how great it has been. Wonderful. I remember the time when he came to my mother Paris house in Belfast to sign me, and you know, my mother said a kind of stupid thing to him. She says, "You can do what you look to, Mr. Stein." And sometimes I paid for that, to be quite honest with you. But marvellous man. Boys will tell you that at any given time he was the man that made this club what it is today.
And a fantastic turnout as well today to pay tribute to him.
Absolutely brilliant, because he was a magnificent man, magnificent manager, real Celtic man. The Celtic was very, very important to Jock. Great with players, absolutely different class. Mind you, if you stepped out of line with him, he didn't come across as being so great then, you know. I never did it, never bothered it. Some of the rest of them will tell you about that. But he was a character.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Billy McNeil. And if we can ask our former chairman Fergus McCann to step forward. Obviously, Fergus, you were involved in the building of this building of this stadium as it is today, and the Jock Stein stand back in the mid-1990s.
Well, yes, Tony, first I'd like to say thank you to all the supporters who've come today. It's an honour to be here, it really is, and it makes me think back. First thing I'm thinking about standing here is going all the way back, Evans, Stein and Peacock. That's where he began as a player, when he was as a player here, and he went on to greater things. And then I think about the time being here in 1996, 95, 96, we built the stadium. And of course now what it means is that we, going out there with Jean, his widow, who both opening the stand that day, that was just an enormous honour. And now, as you know, the Celtic end is now the Jock Stein stand, which that will stand hopefully for many years in his memory. It's a great thrill and it's a great honour just to be here with you, because Jock Stein has made Celtic such an outstanding example to football everywhere in what he accomplished and what he stood for. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Fergus, and it's almost time for the unveiling. And before the party heads down to get into position with the Lisbon Lions, let's hear some audio from Jock Stein. This was part of his team talk before the 1967 Scottish Cup final against Aberdeen in April of that year, and you'll hear that it's the same issues that Celtic managers face some 44 years down the line.
This is another game, no different from the last one. You know well from the season started, every game's been an important one, so let's make sure that we don't slip up with being casual, being careless and early in the game. There'll be refereeing mistakes in the game, some for you, some against you, but make sure that referees' decisions don't upset each individual style of play. Accept the decisions, good and bad, and get on with the game. This can be a year that every one of us can remember, so let's make sure that each player helps each other. Make sure if somebody's having a bad game, somebody near him helps them. So let's go now and make sure that this is another game that will add to the rest of the victories we'll find, and it'll be a season we'll all remember.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of the immortal Jock Stein, and we're going to ask our presentation party, John Gatland, John Reid, Fergus McCann and Billy McNeil to make their way down to the Jock Stein statue, and we'll ask the Lisbon Lions to come forward as well, and also Jonathan Stein, Jock's